Unfinished business here.
Onward!
These doors probably don't lead anywhere. Still, that's one dungeon cleared, I guess. I don't know if there's a purpose to clearing all the squares in every dungeon. What do we get from Weapon Master 1? Weapon of choice. One is chosen and thereafter all Weapon Master special abilities will only work while that type of weapon is equipped. Once per day per level, maximum damage is dealt. Right, then we need to be at level 5 to get any kind of a bonus. We might get bonus feats, but I don't think I can get weapon specializations when I level up Weapon Master. Right, so we only get to choose the weapon of choice. What if I take a fighter now? If I can't choose the weapon specialization, there's no point picking the fighter level. Might as well go with the Weapon Master. 6 points, anything interesting? Humble, that's 1 extra armor class, it should be 30 after this. Discipline, lore, intimidate. There really doesn't seem to be any use for the conversation skills. I'm not sure if there's much use for lore either, because we're picking items that we are potentially interesting, and we have certainly an infinite amount of money to identify them. So I'm not seeing the point of lore. Search might be useful, so maybe keep raising discipline. We don't want to be the victim of this sort of thing. Alternatively, spellcraft, because pretty sure there was a purpose to spellcraft. The character also gains +1 bonus for every 5 ranks in this skill to all saving throws against spells. That's a big deal. So we could start developing that. Right. Armor class 30. Go for the encampment.
To the fight! Onward!
Not just a merchant.
Here, follow me.
You two
Hold
can
this
stay
place.
here.
Let
I'll go
nothing
clean up
uproot
the
you.
place. It's faster that way. I don't have to worry about the aid dying on me. We'll also rest here to return them to full health. A plot giver. Goblin wizard. Caster of some sort anyway. And I'm dead. The weapon is our only real weakness at this point. We have immunities against a lot of the potential problems coming our way. We have damage resistance against a lot of potential problems coming our way, but our weapon does too little damage. And it's not just because I chose a one-handed weapon, it's that this isn't particularly good. It's basically +1 magical weapon. And that's it. It's not particularly bad, just okay. Good looking ring. Very difficult, my ass. Potential Warhammer. Well, potential better Warhammer rather. Sea hack. I have no idea what that does. I do not give it an opportunity to do anything. Creatures killed 317. Okay. Things are certainly speeding up. They don't really have anything to throw my way that will be all the characters. We're missing one thing. Mind effect immunity. That's the biggest weakness we still have. If we manage to get that, I don't see what they really do. I mean, they're not bad opponents, it's just because of the gear I'm vastly superior to them in every way. They might at some point catch up with me, but I don't know. At that point, who the hell knows what my equipment looks like? Because I do get recipes too. Right. That's it. Another area clear.
To the fight! Onward!
Okay, let's rest first. We do have to meet the plot giver too. It's a mage. Not gonna be all that interesting. I'm not sure if I can get a third guy to join the group anyway. These were all looking for things I don't particularly care about. Rat droppings. Okay, still enemies there. But how can that be? I don't think that's worth anything, the stuff in there, but still want to find it.
I will cut you down to size! Yeah!
A barrel. Barrel fun. Right, hopefully the merchant himself has something useful. That's probably our biggest hope. We are more or less picked up +1 Warhammer. That's the likeliest option here. Helmet of Spell Resistance. An okay one. Spell Resistance +5 Reflex throws. Power Shield +2 versus Power Shield +1.
I carry too much. Walking is difficult.
Stop your complaining. We probably need to add regeneration to the other one though. But that's not an immediate concern. Warhammer +2. We're definitely taking that unless this is better somehow. Animal empathy. Well, whoop-de-doo. This has the negative energy +1, but that's not good. Not compared to +2 enchantment. It'll bypass a lot of defenses and adds to hitting and damage. I sold an unidentified item. It wasn't that big of a deal, but still an incredibly stupid thing to do. +1 pointy stick, 1000 gold. Regeneration, deflection. A lot of saving throws. I don't care for the saving throws because the game is already throwing a lot of immunity items my way. Why in the hell would I aim for a saving throw increase when I can aim for the total immunity? Just doesn't make sense to me. Ooze. Armor bones versus ooze. Well, I'm sure that's super useful. Sonic resistance. Probably not bad, but sonic damage from spells is limited anyway. There's no good spells that would do a massive amount of sonic damage. Pickpocketing +6. Can you even pickpocket anything in this adventure? Universal saving throws 2. Craft armor +4. That's a good item. Or expensive rather, but not for us. +1 to almost everything. Kill Rav's ring. Doesn't ring a bell. Who's Kill Rav? Okay. Damage reduction rings of 45,000 gold. Improved evasion included, that's probably the reason. Better magic bags, but I don't care that much. Death Ward Potion, yes, this will act as death immunity if we face such opponents. Right. Now the plot. Should I say goodbye to some of these? Worry, for example. What do you
Hello
contribute?
there.
You just go away, please. I mean, rat droppings. I didn't want to take in the first place because, come on, rat droppings. It's like the ultimate humiliation. It's even worse than having to force you fight rats. It's to collect their goddamn poop
Greetings.
afterwards. Old mortal, how would you like to earn a little gold for wandering about like a drunken ox? Before we go any further, you can call me Kellyan. We discovered goblins persisting on level 2. My friends require you to obliterate them, and I will compensate you for each one. Yeah, sure, but I've already killed quite a bit. Does it
Greetings.
count? No. At least that's a little bit more dignified than rat droppings, so... Also, he's
The
not
good
coming
of
with us.
all!
Am I going to bother really contacting him though? A patrol! Patrol is gonna need my support.
Mother's wrath!
Just unlocking shield. It's another goddamn butt giver. We're gonna rush to him.
The good of all!
Unseelie Baron. Dire rat trappings. You can keep them. Walden. Hello, Walden.
Hello.
I'm Horace Locke. There have been dozens of adventurers through here before, but you seem special. Just call me Walden. Our organization wants for you to look into certain areas in the level 2 and detect what lives there. When you reach a level, I'll update the areas you'll need in your dungeon journal.
And she's coming with me. Sure, whatever. What are you? Cleric, lawful good. Dungeon journal update. Hmm. One three. Level 2, 1-3, which means I've probably been there already.
Hello.
Actually, where have I been now? Yeah, I have not been in 1-3. Definitely not. There's also a puzzle on this one. Ah, I have no idea what that could be.
Here you meet your end! Ha!
Looks like some sort of pattern. Light pattern. Demon's heart. And I have the hiccups. Excellent. I think I'll just try to wrap up the puzzle and leave it at that. We still have a couple of areas here to explore, but I don't think they're gonna end up being all that interesting. Boots of hardiness, bludgeoning, piercing, slashing, resistance, dodge, modifier, constitution. Some of this stuff wouldn't be bad if you had a party. I mean, I can probably equip these guys, for example. So, but why bother when I can just do it all myself? And they're not gonna stick with me, they're just temporary. On the other hand, it's not like it's all that tough to find new equipment for them. I wouldn't have to make much of a sacrifice, but I would still have to pay for the identification and all that, so... Okay, what's this puzzle? We have a... We don't have a... There's no guide to this time. Okay, everyone touching this will, including this, will switch from on to off. Do we need to light everything or do we need to shut down everything? I mean, even that would have been a useful clue. It's a logic puzzle. I don't recall the name of it. It's very easy to get to a point where you have a few of them left, but it's very hard to actually shut them down fully. Right. I'm trying to concentrate the lights somewhere. So we're going to try to shut them off from one side, push them to another. Can I do it that way too? I mean, sure why. Okay, you losers need to get the fuck out of my way.
Hold this place. Let nothing
I
uproot
mean, can
you.
I do the same thing to push these from here to down here? Sort of no. Right. Can you keep doing it simply like this? No, I don't think so. You need something else. Right, fundamentally you're gonna beat the same wall every time if you do it like this. So this is not good. Need something else. Okay. I'm gonna have to do pen and paper on this. It's a grid, 7x7 grid. Right. It could be one of two things, like a Rubik's cube, where if you know how to basically change one color to another, it's a set of movements. It's not that many, but it's not obvious if you don't know it. Those are, you can basically just learn it. But if you don't know how it's done, you're basically in a hopeless situation. Here's what there's another way to do it because this is just a grid. Uh, if I create a new light and move it to another one direction, the end result should be predictable. So the effect will move downwards and change certain places here every time. So, and that will be the same thing with every one of the 7 top spots. So what we really need to do is change the position of 3, 4, 5 and 7 of the below globes. Everything else has to cancel each other out. So we basically need to get an uneven amount of effects on these and an even amount of effects on these, or 0 alternatively. So starting with point 1, moving it downwards, where do we get the effects? I need to make sure where the initial effects are. Right. Otherwise it's hard to keep track. Yeah, they sort of start to split down. Don't want to, or rather trickle down. And in the end result is this. The first one changed, second one did not change, third one changed, fourth one changed, fifth one did not, sixth one changed, and the seventh changed. So it affected numbers 1, 3, 4, 6 and 7. I wonder if there's a pattern there. The end result here doesn't matter. Start with number 2. Where do the effects trickle from this one? The current effect is there. Ah. Right. So, first one did not change, or rather, no, it did not change. So, second, not change. Third changed. So the fourth, fifth did not, sixth changed, and seventh did not. Yes, it did. Right. Um, yeah, the first definitely didn't change. Okay. I don't get it. One, one, one. Number 3. Oh fuck. What does 3 change? Only change the first one. Change the second one. Not change the third one. Or the fourth or the fifth. Didn't really change the sixth one either or the seventh. Hmm. Oh, god damn it. Fourth one. Okay, this is fairly cumbersome thing to do. Still. I don't know another predictable way I could basically get the solution to this. Number 4. Hopefully I didn't make a mistake on the third one. Accidentally click in a few wrong places, so that might have had an effect. Right. First one changed. Second one changed. Third one did not. Fourth one changed. Fifth one did not change. Sixth one changed and seventh one changed. So we are getting sort of a pattern from this. But another question is, do we want to just shut them all down, but do we just want to light them all up? In some matters, that doesn't really make a difference if we can get the pattern right. I don't really have a way to alter the fifth one at the moment. So I mean, it'll stay in the position it is. I might be able to sort of play around to shift these around the last lights just by randomly clicking, get them into a pattern where one of the things we've tried so far will actually work out. Still, next one. I think this is number 5. There's 6 in total. I mean 7. Of course 7. No, don't click on it. Oh, for fuck's sake. It might be better to really just randomly click once you have a few patterns figured out, because that changing the places here shouldn't be too tough. Right, first one did not change. Now did the second one, or the third, or the fourth? The fifth. Did anything change? Yeah, 6th and 7th switched places, so both changed. Okay, we still don't have a way to affect the 5th, but that's again not necessarily mandatory because I can just click it, can't I? Maybe move it to a little bit to the side. Or can I? I don't think I really can. Right, the end result is always pretty much the same. I switched their place a little bit, but I needed to switch places with that one. I can push it a little bit to the side, there's no doubt about that. But this isn't all that systematic a way of doing anything, so not sure the results would be all that useful. Right, we more or less end up in the same situation, and that's a good thing. That is a very, very good thing. Number 6. The worst part is though that the puzzle is not gonna be worth shit, or it's some kind of a loot crate that's a worthless loot. 101001. Right. First one changed. Second one changed. Third one did not. Fourth one changed. Fifth one changed too, that's the important part. Sixth and seventh did not. So, might as well do the last one. I don't see that we really have much to lose in this case. By looking at the results of that, we should be able to just choose the correct things to do to get the end result we want. Just by choosing a couple of lights at the top. In theory, at least. If not, I've wasted a lot of time doing this. Right, end result is that. First one changed. So did the second one. Third one did not. Fourth one changed. Fifth one changed. Sixth one did not. Seventh changed. Right, so we need to get an uneven number of changes on the 1, 3 and 5. Everyone else has to cancel each other out. So we need 1, 3, 5 to change. 2, 4, 6, 7 to remain what they are. How would we do that? That is not a simple one. We have to choose at least one opening pattern that changes the 5. And I think there's like one of them. No, 2 of them. 6 and 7 both do that. They change a lot of other things too. But it's a must-have. At the same time, is it enough to just light these then? We need at least a 6 or a 7. The only difference between is, do we want to change the 7 slot at the bottom? We really don't at the moment. So if we add that, we can change the 5. We will also change the 4, which is a problem. And 2, and 1. We need something to change number 3, then we get the necessary changes, plus add an additional change to 2 and 4. There aren't that many that change the number 3. There's 2. The first and second light changed those. The problem is they don't change enough. They don't provide another point for the 4, but they would change 6 and 7. That's bad. If we go with 2, we will get change in 3, change in 4, change in 6, and a change in 7. So now we would need a change in 2, 6, and 7 to keep things fairly under control. The problem is again the 2. 6 and 7 can be changed without affecting the 2 or anything else by using a 5, but that would leave the 2 there burning. If we want to affect 2, we have to choose something else. Three or a 4, preferably, I guess. That comes with its own set of problems again. Okay, 4 seems more promising though. It creates a problem with the 1 and 4. Yikes. But it'll fix everything else. So now the problems are 1 and 4 again. Yeah, it just doesn't seem to add up all that easily. There's always gonna be a couple of things left. I think I should just start basically adding these, run them through, and see the end result, see what we can do. This will not solve anything, but we have to keep doing this until we find a proper pattern that will fit. I mean, technically you could just light the solutions here already. You would know them, but I don't see a harm in not knowing it either. There's always the risk too that I made a mistake with number 3 light, because I sort of fucked up where it goes. And I'm not 100% sure I got it correct later on. Yeah. This again should not solve things, nor the one after this. Number 4. This puzzle is in no way worth this. No way. Here only, but the good thing is that my math checks out where the problem areas are. So the changes I do here are predictable, and I've marked them correctly, I think. I haven't tried the third one though. But this is the fundamental problem. We move things forward a little bit. How to solve those two? There is no option now that we can choose that would solve it. Hmm. One and 4. There's nothing that changes just 1 and 4. I'm changing how I have marked these down. It's easier for me to keep an eye on. It's more easily to manage the patterns. Or rather see where the where different top choices fill up at the bottom. Easier to visualize. Right. 1 and 4. There's nothing that fits that. We could get 1 and 2. That was still with 2 and 4, which really isn't any better. One, 3, 4. Okay. If we can get lights to 6 and 7, they're easy to snuff out. And we do it that way. 1 and 2 is also similar. If we only have lights there, that's easy to do. Right, we can do 1, 2, 4, 6, 7. But no, that doesn't work because they would have to be either light up or shut down. Otherwise, it doesn't make much sense. And the problem is, it is actually fairly hard to affect the first one without affecting the second one. So I think we should try to fix that. This will change things a little bit, not all that much, but it'll make the 1 and 2 act in unison. And this is the only pattern that allows me to do that, so it will also lead to changes to a lot of other places, but that is irrelevant. Right. 6, 7 and 3. We can't really do much about the 3. But we can shut these down and leave only a 4 here. That's a good thing to do. It's a must thing to do because otherwise I can't affect the 3. So it's basically number 2. Once you stare at the pattern for long enough, you sort of see what you have to do. Where you cannot have lights or ignited light, shutdown light pairs. They just don't work because there's only a single way you can alter them. And it just doesn't work with the rest. Right. As predicted, we only have the 4 left. There's no way I can just affect the 4. There are 5 lights at the top that have changed the 4 to something else. The question is, can I... Ooh, we have to choose 5. Yeah, I can see the solution now. We have to do 3 lights. We have to do 5, then we have to do 3, and then we have to do... no, we have to do 4... Hey, can we do these all at the same time? We have to do 3, 4, and 5. I say it so it doesn't really matter. I just want to see, can we do it all at the same time? If not, I'll load and do them individually. Matter. But I'm certain this is the solution. The inverse solution. So we need to do it the other way around, of course. But yeah, now I understand the puzzle. That's the important part. Guess we can just start with these. Start lighting things up. do the inverse of what we just did. Every time there's a dark, click, try to light it up. Hopefully the pattern is a little bit easier at the bottom here, but it doesn't really matter, we can fix it. 1, 2, 3. 3 has to be changed. It doesn't really mix well with almost anything. It can only be changed by 2 ways. As long as these work together and these work together, that's fine. Which means I actually have to change this first. That's a 7. A lot of work for a puzzle like this. So what could possibly be your reward? I can't see anything being worth this shit. Right. Those are in sync, those are in sync, those are not light up at all. We can easily change only these. Same with only these. The 3 in the center, can we change only them? No, we need at least 2. I need these shut down and the center changed. No. I can light these and these without affecting anything. So we still need 5 where I have to do something. Yeah, it's a bit complicated. But one problem at a time. There's no easy answer that we can just choose there and solve everything. As long as we just keep moving certain things in sequence, there should not be much of a problem. Right, those are in sequence, those are in sequence, and the third one is the problem. Right. Third one cannot be changed without changing the fourth one. And we can change the fourth one, but not. We can't change the third one without changing the fourth one too. They're in sync, so I need to use something to make them move in sync. But that will leave that one out. Does 4 and 5 really need to be in sync? Thing is, I do need to light up the third one no matter what, and it can only be done by shutting down the fourth one. So we need to focus on lighting that up first. I don't want to break the pairs there, so it can only be done by choosing the second one. I think we probably have like 3 lights we need to light up, and then we're at the correct end result. We're very close to it now. It's all about getting one light to pair up with its pair that we can change with the rest of the correct solutions. The first 2 and the last 2 are easy to change without changing anything else, so that's something to keep in mind. Right, if we want number 4 to change without changing everything else. Right. Okay. Number 4 and then something else. That'll light up the right. Okay, 4 and 5 should end this. Finally, our long road comes to an end. I think this is a bit too involved of a puzzle to have in a game like this. The grid basically should have been smaller. 5 times 5 grid or something like that. Doesn't take so long for the effects to run through. And whoop-de-doo, 500 gold pieces. I'll take these because I'm curious. What could it possibly be in those?
Onward!
It was worth 30 points. Basically worth nothing. Where do we have a merchant? Not here, but we'll head east. See what wonderful stuff we got from this puzzle, and then I'll definitely end there. The puzzle, doing the puzzle took a huge amount of time. Not worth it. Not worth it at all. Just didn't want to leave it unfinished. There is some sort of a maybe on the puzzle thing. If the 2 armors I picked up are any good, or like exceptionally good, then it's a different matter. But I don't think they are. I think they're basic trash, which sort of leads me to think that this game should be really played in a certain way. If you have trouble, if you don't see the solution to the puzzle pretty much immediately, dump it. Just fucking dump it. Unless you're really big into doing puzzles. This is fine. Fine stuff. Worth 7,000 for individual item. These are the puzzle. Yeah, +1 leather armor. So totally worthless, and +2 armor safety. It's actually a decent armor. +2 plus it has an additional bonus on top of that, but it is not worth spending the time solving the puzzle. I suppose you might get lucky or be smart enough to see the solution. I don't know, but I don't see how I would have solved that without pen and paper. I just don't see it. So it's a fairly demanding puzzle compared to the other puzzles that had come our way so far. And I did the pirate puzzle fairly quickly because I already knew how it's supposed to be solved. I don't think the rhyme they gave you as a clue is particularly helpful. It suffers from the same problem that it's a little bit too vague. It's exactly the information you really need, but it's only if you know the solution that you directly go to that conclusion based on the riddle the game throws your way. And that's the big problem. For a person who doesn't know it, you could go in a lot of different ways there. Yeah, leaving things here. We have 2 map areas, I think, unexplored still here. Right. That should be what the Walden guy wants. I don't know what that is. But I also know that these are not worth it. A lot of the content on these levels are not worth it. I think we are going to be increasingly focusing on completing the dungeon itself instead of going through every map square and cleaning it out. It just isn't worth it.